Hi guys, hey, let me meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, beautiful place. It's gonna be mild for the next 4 days, so figured come out here, hang out, and the temperature is gonna be in the upper 20s, which is pretty good. It's 22, 23 degrees. Pretty interesting for mid-autumn. So, today we're going to talk about something that keeps coming up on the show, and that is copyrights. And yes, comedy flu, there was more ice in this than this, but most of it melted. Alright, so let's get started. Now, people keep telling me, gee, we'd like to have you move the kick stream over to YouTube for Silver Moon Radio. Because one person said, you need a broadcast license. Commercial, because you're monetized with CashApp and BMI, and those cost a couple $1,000s. So, how would that work for my show? Well, I'm really not sure, because I don't even make $1,000 a month to pay for $1,000 a month license or $12,000 a year. It's not going to happen. Now, you have to understand the Digital Millennium Copyright Act was created in 1993. $27 years ago. And what the DMCA was protected against is really not a big issue anymore. Things like Napster, Nutella, and other file sharing services. That's not even a big deal anymore. But the United States Congress is the one that has to rewrite the law. So what you need to do is get in contact with U.S. Congressman and U.S. Senator and say you'd like them to relook at the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and see if they can make addendums to it to allow more content creators to share the content, especially on social media sites like YouTube. But remember what I said yesterday about subscriptions. And it certainly applies with this. If you're on the site, radio stations usually work with a site called Sound Exchange. Now, if you're working with Sound Exchange, you pay a monthly or yearly subscription, giving you access to commercial rebroadcast licenses. Okay? Now, these licenses are not cheap. Okay, as we said, it can cost as much and more than that sometimes. At least $1,000 a month. At least. And small fry channels are not going to come up with such a thing. I mean, I suppose you could, if you're willing to become homeless and not pay your rent and get evicted and but you're not going to make any money out of it. You're going to lose money, okay? Sites like WMG, UMG, and SME don't care if you go broke or not. They don't care. They want their fees. Because they know, oh, if you can play the America's Top 40, guess what? That means that now you can get away with a lot, right? Your user base will unzip, expand, and explode. Or at least it should. Well, maybe, but for YouTubers that only have about 2,100 subs, that's not going to work because you don't make enough money in advertising revenue to keep up with that, okay? Sites like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and Mr. Beast could afford to do it because they bring home a lot of bank every single month. So they can afford to do this. But small mom and pop shops, not so much, okay? So, if you want to get a license to play music, you're going to have to make choices. And YouTube can't use the safe harbor provision because YouTube is now not just a social media platform, it's now a publisher. Publishers are not protected by safe harbor. That's why YouTube has been cracking down on DMCA violations. So keep that in mind, guys. If you want safe harbor, you need a good social media platform that is not considered a publisher. So YouTube doesn't, we don't make a huge amount of money in revenue on YouTube, but we do make money. It's not, lately the donations have pretty much not really been there. We do got memberships, they still exist, okay? Sometimes we still get some donations too. But the truth is, lately, and people have got other things in their mind besides donate to a tiny podunk channel in some backwater part of YouTube, okay? People are afraid that they're not going to be able to pay the mortgage or the rent. People are afraid they're not going to be able to pay utility bills. So for them, they're not going to go, oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I don't have to worry about this. I'll just go and negotiate a deal with my landlord because you're too special. I need to make sure you get paid. That's not the reality. Most people are not going to deny that. You can't push that. Donations are voluntary. If you want to donate, that's great. It helps. But reality kicks in and says, I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my electric. I got to pay my phone bill. I got to pay for my kids' education. I got to pay for my kids' school lunches. I don't have time to pay, for you to do a show 6 days a week in the morning, Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m., and then do a night show on Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and then on Kick do Silverman Radio Sunday at 7, and then play World of Warcraft at retail on Thursday at 7 o'clock. And that was the other thing that we're talking about. So let me just remind people one thing. Guys, there are people that do watch the gaming streams. They know they're gaming streams because it says in the title they're gaming streams. There are people that do come in and do watch them. May realize that maybe Michelle doesn't always get a chance to see the chat because I'm focused on trying to win or to advance my level. But what sucks is the fact, and this is true, and sometimes it gets frustrating for me because I really do want to see more chat comments. See coming through the woods ice in here, but it all melted. Okay? So what are you going to do? They said, well, why don't you have it set up to have software read the chat to you? Yeah, I can do that. Plug in a second sound card into my computer to reroute the audio for the well, I'm not sure exactly how I would do it, honestly, but I suppose there might be some way I could reroute the sound so that the speech to text would come out through that device, then the same one that is going out to you. There is channels that do things differently with their sound devices than I do. For example, some channels use software-based routing versus hardware-based routing. Now, I use hardware-based. What does that mean in plain English? Everything goes to the mixer board. Everything. Okay? So all the sounds go through the mixer board. And from the computer. Now from the game, the Google Meets, the sound effects, everything, soundboard, all go through the mixer board. Which allows me to do a variety of things. Now, here's some things about the same setup that kind of sucks. It all goes through the mixer board. So that means if I turn on Restream's text-to-speech notifications, where do you think they're going to go? That's right. They're going to go right out from the computer, right into the mixer board, right out to you. Which means those people that say nasty crap are going to get their message across. YouTube's going to give me a yellow dollar sign, and I'm going to be ready to brain somebody. Okay? So, that doesn't work either. I mean, I wish there was some other way to do it, but if I go with software-based control, it would be. Except what they call latency. Latency is when you have a software-based output, say, the audio is captured from Google Chrome, to Google Panels. And the Google Panels is going to be going out through the USB port. Or does it? Well, here's the deal. Theoretically speaking, yes. However, but you don't want to send it out to that device because you want to send it out to another device. Okay? So you're saying is because the Google, because Restream.io is going through the default desktop output. Okay? So there's a lot of routing changes that have to be done to make up things like it with the hardware base to sound like it has sound. With hardware loopback, just accept that. I'm gonna keep it simple. So how does that work for me when reading the side chat and when playing it? Here's what happens. I have it on the screen. I see it. Okay. So when I'm not getting myself clobbered by some mob, the first thing I do is I'll withdraw to a safe place, go back, read the comments, then go back to the game. That's what I do. The problem is with that is that the person that may have left a comment may have left it 10, 20, 30 minutes before I finally see it. I respond to it. Which means they may be long gone by the time they respond to the comment. That don't mean I don't like your comment. It just means That's the way it is with the game. Same thing with driving the truck. If I'm driving the truck, I have to focus on the game, getting my delivery safely from point A to point B. And that means just so you sound like. So I'm going to go from point A to point B. I'm listening to my GPS to tell me which way to turn, which exit to get on. That means just like it sounds like. I'm focused on getting my delivery from point A to point B. Usually there's a time limit. Okay? Now, because I haven't driven my truck in so long, there's going to be, if I do finally get back into driving the truck again, it's going to be a bit of a practice to get myself back into shape to drive my truck. Okay? I always wonder one thing with the truck. With the way you drive with the controller. Can you ever capsize? Roll over? Yeah. Oh, I remember you did that once. I did once, yeah. Someday I want to get a steering wheel for the truck. But anyway, that's a whole nother project in its own right. So I have to remember that, I'm a YouTuber with disabilities that has to do with only can do so much at one time. I can't do everything at once. I love you as my audience. I love you as my fans. I love you in every way possible. But please understand that I do tend to get a habit of being hyper-focused on something. And when I'm hyper-focused on something, that's just it. I'm hyper-focused on it. Because I want to do my darndest and do my best to make successful, whatever it is. Maybe a delivery on American Truck Simulator to finally complete a battleground in World of Warcraft, or successfully complete a dungeon with a small raid group. Okay? Or a dungeon group. And that's what I do. Okay? I want to do all that. And I enjoy playing the game. That's what it is. It's a game, for me, is the thing. I love playing my game. And I will play my game. Because I like doing it. But I'm not so hyper-focused on the game that I can't at least go, and I'm going to save area. Okay. Right now, I'm in a safe spot. I can answer so many questions real quick before I have to go back out and kill some more mobs and do more quests. Then I'll go out there after I read the questions. Now, continue on and do more, kill more mobs and do more quests. That's a compromise. It's a reasonable solution. You're still going out there. You're still trying to reach out to new people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. So why is some people saying, oh, Michele's gameplay is boring? Here's the thing, as I said earlier. When you say, let's play Turtle WoW, let's play World of Warcraft, Blizzard EU servers, do you know what it is? Do you know what I'm doing? And you don't have to go, oh, I didn't know you're playing World of Warcraft, or you're driving. If you see me play, let's play American Truck Simulator, do you know I'm playing the American Truck Simulator the game? It's in the gaming category. It's already there. It's already stated. You don't have to go, oh, I don't know what you're doing. Come on. You do know what I'm doing. You do know. And don't tell me you do not know, because you do. Well, anyway, tonight is the night show. I hope Sammy Johnson can make it tonight. I'm sorry I didn't stay on later than I did. The panel was starting to get a little crazy. All those people coming up. And I just wanted to kind of get ready to wrap it up, come out here and get my vitamin D3. I need my sunlight, you know? And so I'm outside. I'm getting my sunlight. I'm getting my melanin in my skin. I'm giving my happy vibes, which is what I want. It's warm. It's mild. It's not dark, cold, and clammy for 4 days. I am going to enjoy those 4 days. And I'm still going to do the morning show. Now, some people may not take my show seriously, but I can assure you, I am dedicated to what I do on my show. I am dedicated to what I do on my show. I love my show. I love doing my show. So, I think people need to remember that. I do love playing the games. I am trying to find a happy compromise that works for everybody, right? Everybody has different things. Like, some people want this, some people want that. Sometimes as content creators, we have to ask ourselves, how can we have a little bit of everything? How can I have option A, or option B, or option C, or option D? Well, the answer is, you don't know. I always wonder what happened if you decided to loosen that thing. The umbrella would slide down. Oh, okay. But unfortunately, because it's an aluminum umbrella, it doesn't fold up like some of the ones with the crank on them. They don't see too many of those in most commercial establishments, because the crank ones would break pretty easy. Well, anyway, that's a different story. It's not my job to maintain the umbrella. But, although I would admit that sometimes getting the sun beating on my face all day is kind of hard to handle. So, what you're supposed to do is content create. Not much you can do. Alright, now one more topic I want to talk about. I'm trying to fix a few things in World of Warcraft. I mean, not World of Warcraft. In the live streams. There is a glitch in my system. And let me explain this to you. The glitch is that for a long time, I did not understand this with the fonts. Okay? So let me explain this to you. When you're using OBS, and you're going to create with the text, there's a lot of scripts send data to you, including the captions and the timers. Every time I use it, I keep realizing that I keep forgetting I can change the point size. That's important. Change the point size. You haven't already lines you want. So you say you want 3 lines. You can already specify technically characters too, right? What does the stupid me do? I go, and whatever was the default, and I say, oh, okay. Oh, it's too huge, so I'm going to shrink it down. Well, that works to a point. The truth is, it does not help. In some ways, it makes more work than it's worth. So last night, when I was watching someone talk about local captions, which was Michael Freyer, he said, here's what you do. He said, you go in, when you make your text screen, you go ahead, you select your font, you select the point size. I'm like, oh, wait, point size? I have point sizes? I didn't think I had point sizes, but I do. I didn't know that. Stupid me. Okay, I mistakenly forgot to consider point sizes. Also, he points out that if you want to use a countdown timer to show a countdown number on live stream, so we use the Elgato Stream Deck to do this. You don't have to. You can use the same countdown timer I installed for the quiz to do the same thing. So in that case, you would say, okay, set the timer, say at 2 minutes. Tell the timer to count down from 2 minutes down to 0. At 0, immediately go to the introduction splash screen, music screen, right? Sounds good, right? I didn't think of that. I was like, oh, I've been doing it hard the whole time. Oh God, now I can streamline my production so much that I didn't think of that when I set up originally. But you know what? I don't think it was a bad idea the way I did it. I'm not saying it's a great idea, but it works. And with the reason. So what am I having for dinner tonight? Well, I was gonna originally have some of those little White Castle sliders, so I gotta go to CVS and get some because I couldn't find any at Stop and Shop, and I couldn't find any at Family Dollar or Dollar General. And so I gotta go and get some over at CVS. And so that's what I'm gonna go get. Is some of those little sliders. The only problem, they only sell 4-packs. They don't sell 6s. There's some here. Sometimes I have to. It's a little more expensive over here, but it's still gonna be a 4-pack. Yeah. So the thing is, the Anthem card only works at CVS anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do. And also keep in mind, like I said, I'm putting a lot of work into these shows. I tried to make some changes. I did work in installing an open and closed caption tool. But let me actually say this. YouTube, the Restream.io. Restream.io is not including the caption information on the live streams at all. None. Okay? So Restream.io is not passing it along. So when you watch the live streams, you see the closed captions from YouTube's live closed captioning, which is based on speech to text. And that usually works most of the time. It's not perfect, but it does work. It does meet the needs for the Americans with Disabilities Act, and so people with deaf or hard of hearing can still participate in your streams. That is something I am very adamant about, is I want people that are hard of hearing and deaf to be able to participate in my stream. Maybe they may not be able to come up on panel for reasons that they may have a hard time hearing somebody, but they certainly should have the right to feel welcome to my show. That doesn't mean you can't be hard of hearing and still come up on the panel. Yes, you can. In fact, because Google Meets features its own closed caption decoder or speech to text. You can come on my panels, even if you are hard of hearing, and you can still be part of the show. To me, that's important. As a person who is hard of hearing, this is not a luxury. This is not posh. This is something that really is vital to make sure that people with disabilities can still participate in our programs. Even on my gaming streams, you will notice that I have made sure the closed captions work. Also, because of my eyesight, I've been using lately on retail and classic on the main YouTube channel, the speech or the text-to-speech tools, so that it makes it easier for me too. So I can hear when I get an award or whatever, and not have to worry about trying to scroll around the screen looking for comments. That's a big, big plus. That's something we got fixed though. Oh, it's that. What Red said about when you're in party, when they're trying to talk to you and the bubbles don't work. Right, okay, that's something I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna go looking for that. I know I fixed it in Turtle WoW, but I did not check for it on Classic WoW, on Blizzard, or Cataclysm Classic on Blizzard, or Retail WoW. And I'm gonna look on that and see if there is an option to fix it so party chat shows up with the bubbles. Okay? Remember, as a gamer that is multiply handicapped, it is not as easy as it is if you get 20/20 vision and you don't have autistic spectrum. If you have Asperger's and you're a gamer, your world is so different than a person that's neurotypical that does not have a disability. So please keep that in mind. If you're one of those neurotypicals who does not have any disabilities, of course to you, my gameplay may sound like really kind of messed up, but that's because I have to work with my disabilities to try to play the game. And so we play the game and we focus on that reason. So, for now, let's keep that in mind, that I've been very honest and upfront about how I play the game. And you know when it says Turtle WoW, or Retail WoW, or Blizzard WoW, or American Truck Simulator, or Sims 3, or Sims 4, in the category of gaming, you know it's a gaming stream. YouTube does not have a lot of gaming streams. It's not a big thing on YouTube. Originally that was a Twitch thing. We all know what Twitch is like, right? Yeah. It's pretty much is going away. The dinosaur, because of their own policies, is hurting the platform. It's not the gamers. The gamers are the ones that feel like they're getting hurt, which they are, technically. But that's another story altogether. I won't get to that right now. But for now, I'm going to see you later. Stay out of trouble. Have a nice day. I'll see you today at 7 o'clock. I'm going to try to get this video uploaded within a reasonable time period. So for now, bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.
In the summer's embrace, she finds her way. Twisting and turning, she won't let things sway. With love for the music and fire in her soul, she dances through life, her heart in control. She won't give up, she won't sit down. In her purple dress, she twirls around. With every rhythm, with every beat, she conquers the floor. she won't retreat.